Welcome back. Still here chatting with Tony K. 4 more questions about his broadcast career. So you ready to rumble, Tony?
Yep, go ahead there, Ben.
Let's resume. Question 5 now. What song reminds you of the radio?
Now this is going back to about 1969. And at the time, I did a couple of what were then the Radio 1 road shows, but it was called Radio 1 Club. And the very first record I played on Radio 1 Club, Marrakesh Express from Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Wow. The last ever song that I think it was my friend Tony Dibbin played on Gold, the radio station, was Rasputin, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've redone that again. You know, all those old tracks, like Rasputin, the Bonnie M tracks, have now appeared in the old top 40 charts, but they've been given the new twist. And to be quite honest with you, they're hardly recognizable from the original.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. And question 6, why did you choose radio over your other professions?
Well, radio was something I kind of drifted into, I suppose, rather than actually, applying for jobs on those stations. After Radio Luxembourg, incidentally, Bob Christie and I had a Saturday morning program on the Radio Luxembourg, which not many people know about, on 92.5, which was the FM community frequency. So we did an English community station Saturday mornings on there. And then when the whole thing packed up, Radio Luxembourg closed down, Mike Knight, who was then the station manager, opened up a small commercial station right in the city of Luxembourg called Sunshine Radio on 102.2, I think it was. And I was involved with that, along with Dave Christian, Mike Knight, and who else was on there? Many, many more. Alton Andrews actually came up on there as well. So, it evolves. Radio is like a living thing. It evolves. It doesn't stay stationary. And that's what you hear today, how it's evolving. And to be honest, unless you've got a transmitter, you're not really a radio station. Certainly not if you're just doing it on internet as such. That, to my mind, is not real radio. Real radio is broadcasting. And the whole thing is evolving all the time. And the most creative place that you can hear creative radio today is on the little community stations that are dotted around the country, because the main stations don't want personality. They don't want anything that's going to be controversial. They want this is, that was type of presentation. So if the presenter gets a bit uppity, they can get rid of them and put another clone in his place, and nobody will know the difference. So it is. Now I've rattled on. I've forgotten what the question was.
That's why a lot of people have left. Some of my friends who I know have left BBC radios local.
Oh, absolutely.
They don't want to do that because they don't.
No,
they're not
exactly.
fan of that style of broadcasting. And
well, what has happened with stations like the BBC, like the big chains like Greatest Hits Radio, they're run by accountants, not by radio people. And accountants say, "Oh, this isn't making money, we'll get rid of it," or this is costing us too much, let's change it. And now it's got to the point where presenters do voice tracks. Basically, they're given a list of records or tunes that they're going to play. They then have to make an introduction to it, and then send that introduction into the station, which then splices it in between these tracks that make it sound like there is a presenter there, but there isn't. It's just voice tracking, which is a cheap way. You don't have to pay the presenter. You get the product and you get everything in. And the Greatest Hits Radio are the ones that are really sort of gone to town on that style of broadcasting. Today, if you want to hear any real broadcasting, tune into some of those little community stations. I'll tell you what, there's a wealth of talent there, which are, you know, just won't get employed on the big stations. And I count myself amongst that.
Or like as well, you think about Boom as well, and some of these local stations that have opened up. Because I think Boom's the big pain in the main stations. Yeah,
well, good for them, you know. The only good thing
it's run by David Lloyd. It has people like Diana Luke, David Hamilton, Roger Day.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's a good lineup. I mean, there is where the competition is. And competition is good because it keeps you on your toes and it makes you evolve. And so, you know, there's nothing wrong with a good bit of competition. However, these massive big stations, and I include the BBC in this, are so stuck in their ways, they can't see the bigger picture and they can't evolve to meet the demand. And so consequently, they're still carrying on as they were. And as I say, they're constrained by the accountants. They won't let them. You can't spend money on this. You can't do this. They give a list of what you can't do. It must be fill up 4 books, I'm sure, with these stations. You know, so, you know, anybody who's got any creativity, because radio is very creative, anybody who has any creativity goes to a station which will nurture that creativity.
And the last question, we've done number 7.
Yeah.
My last question, number 8, is because I know we're short on time, is what advice would you give to young aspiring broadcasters who are starting out at the bottom of the broadcast ladder?
Right. Well, the best thing that they could ever do is probably, as I said, get onto one of those little community stations, but have a listen to the station before you apply. Make a rough mental note of the type of music they're playing, and then put together a short 3-4 minute demo with that style of music and your voice presenting that music. Down at Islands FM, we've got a vacancy at the moment for 2 new presenters. But the demos that I have received personally, they're not demos. They're absolutely unbelievable. It's, well, I'm not naming names, but to be honest with you, it's people who have never heard of the station have just put, hello, this is Joe Bloggs on Islands FM, straight into a piece of music, then a bloody linking jingle, then into another piece of music, another linking jingle. I mean, that is not a demo. A demo is your voice introducing music and making it an all-rounded program, if you like, shortened program, the best that you can do. And I think anybody who's coming into the industry should really listen to the station they want to work for, and then have a listen to how things are presented, have a listen to how the presenters talk, and then try to emulate that. You know, that is probably the best advice I can give. You know, it's certainly at the moment, when we asked for demo tapes for our vacancies, what we got was 90% of total unusable rubbish. Obviously, people don't listen to the station. They don't know what to do. And a lot of new people don't even know how to put a demo together. So, you know, master those skills first, apply for a little commercial station, and then take it from there, up the ladder, work the ladder, up the ladder from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me today, Tom.
Tony,
sorry. I'll get it right, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired, that's all. So thank you to you lot too for joining me. So please give it up one more time for the legendary Tony K. Thank you very much. Go for
Thank
it.
you very much, Ben. Thank you very much, Ben. It's been my pleasure.
Thanks very
Great.
much for joining me. This will be available on my YouTube channel and my Wix.com website, as well as your local radio station. So that's all that's left to say is that's a wrap. And back to the studio.